It's Mohim for Boxing Domination, and today I'm joined by the featherweight El Loco, Louie Lopez, as he waits to fight for the featherweight BKFC title against Kai Stewart. Joining me by Zoom from America, Louie. Thank you for joining me. How you doing, sir?
Hey man, thanks for having me, man. It's great to be on. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. First of all, I do sort of want to ask you, how's your preparation going for June 9th, BKFC 44?
It's all going real good. My coach is pushing me real hard. We're doing a lot of stuff that I don't usually do during camps. We're doing lots of uphill running, lots of swimming, lots of different kind of endurance training that's gonna help me in the end that I haven't done in my other fights. But again, this is the championship level, so at this level, you got to kind of train twice as hard, sometimes three times as hard to get where you need to be.
Yeah, I mean, your four fights as a BKFC fighter, four fights as a bare
Yep.
knuckle fighter. You've got a bit of MMA background as
Yeah,
well.
and I have two bare knuckle fights that aren't on BKFC too, that are like underground.
Okay,
They were like a smaller show. So I've won two of those.
that's brilliant. I mean, you're fighting a 3-0 fighter in Kai Stewart. Do you know much about your opponent?
I don't know much about him. I do know that he's kind of has a wrestling background. He's from the same area as I am. I know that there's been a lot of bad blood, a little bit going back and forth, a lot of hatred going back and forth. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to stay focused, do what I need to do, and come out on top.
What's it like to be the headliner for the BKFC? Because BKFC as an organization, they've gone massive. I mean, the last event, Mike Perry versus Luke Rockhold had
Yeah,
record-breaking
that
numbers.
was a huge event.
Yeah. So what's it like to be the headliner for an event like
Oh
this?
man, I'm really excited for that. I can't be so blessed and thankful enough. Like I always tell, it's nobody deserves this life. This life is really undeserved.
Having four fights in BKFC, which is currently the largest organization in bare knuckle boxing, really,
Yes,
with the biggest pay-per-view buys, the
yes.
largest events, across the world. I want to ask you, what's it like headlining and fighting for the featherweight title? I mean, like,
Oh man,
how is it
it's
mentally?
it's exciting. I don't want to get too excited and push too much. I don't want to kind of lose focus on really. It's just another fight at the end of the day. It's just another day in the office for me. It's just another guy my way is all it is. But this one's for all the marbles. This one's for all the shindig. This time it's for everything.
And outside of bare knuckle boxing, what's your background? What got you into combat sports?
Oh man, I've been fighting for a long time since I was about 16, 17. I kind of just went to a gym with my friends, and then I don't know, I fell in love with it. At first it was doing it just to be part of the crew and doing all this, and then being part of the crowd. I'm sorry, but after that, it just kind of stuck with me. Something that just never went away. I just always had to make it back to the gym. It was weird. I always had to go back to the gym.
And I know you lost to Rusty Crowder at the BKFC 24. I want to sort of know what was it like dealing with a loss and coming back from it? Because you lost. I know you're coming back. You're back for a title fight. What?
Yes, I actually had two fights after that loss. I fought Rusty Crowder 2 years ago. We had
Yeah.
a doctor stoppage on my jaw. My jaw had broken. I had a crappy mouthpiece at the time. Now I got a really nice mouthpiece from the dentist. But yeah, that really kind of was really a tough break for me. But like fighting's up and down, man. That's all it is. It's ups and a lot of ups and a lot of downs. You just hope for more ups than downs. So I regained, and then 3 months later I got right back in the ring, and then I almost had the fight of the year with Dylan Schulte. So that was 3 months after my jaw break.
Yeah. And a lot of fighters on the mental side, when they lose the first fight, they sort of go on like a losing streak. I don't want to sort of name any fighters, but there's a UFC fighter in particular, BJ Penn, and then there was Cody Garbrandt.
Yes,
Once they've
yes.
lost, they couldn't come back the next fight. When you sort of lost your first fight, and I know I'm going back a little bit, when you lost your first fight, um, you know, what did you have to tell yourself in order to get back just 3 months later to get your win back?
You know what? I never stopped doubting myself through the whole process. There wasn't a time where I was like, I'm out. This seems an ick. Should I? I never reconsidered. Never, ever. I always knew where my place was, and I knew that that was just a freak accident of me just having a crappy mouth guard and my mouth closed. I beat Howard Davis, which is the number one ranked featherweight, back in December, and he beat Rusty Crowder. So it's kind of a back and forth, a leapfrog of who beat who and this and that. So Kai beat Rusty Crowder, the guy that broke my jaw. I beat the guy that, beat Rusty. So it kind of goes in a big like revolving circle.
Yeah.
But I never, ever lost doubt on myself. I never once was like, I'm going to stop doing this. It's always back to the gym. I was always there, not using my mouth, just kind of moving my head and my feet, just working my footwork for the last 2 weeks because, until my jaw was good enough. Then I just went from there.
Earlier, I spoke to Jeremy Pitbull Smith, who fights Houston Alexander for the cruiserweight rankings. Yeah, it's a fantastic fight. Who do you have winning that fight? And I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
Oh man, I don't know. Houston's got the experience, man. He's probably that's just another day for him. But Smith, man, he's a beast. He really is. He's coming up. So it's just I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know. I'd have to say I go with Houston Alexander, just depending on experience, just because of experience and we'll see. I could be wrong.
I mean, there are some fantastic fights out there. Even with MMA fighters crossing over. We recently saw Chad Mendes, Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yes.
I don't want to sort of make you look over past Kai, but if you do get through Kai Stewart on June the 9th, is there any particular fights that you want? Because I spoke to Jeremy and he had fights that he really wanted. I want to know from your point of view.
Jeremy
Pitbull. I mean, for a different weight division.
Oh yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. Just whatever's next, whatever contract. I mean, I want the money. I'll fight anybody. I'll literally fight anybody. I like the big fights. That interests me a lot more is the bigger fights.
Yeah.
The more demanding fights. Those ones interest me a lot more now. I've done my time, doing it the normal undercards and all that, and the freebies and all that. I've done all that stuff. So I've paid my time. It's time for me to show why I'm the best and beat guys that have been doing this longer than I've been alive because of skill. I'm gifted and I believe I really believe in my skill. I really truly believe in my talent. So and it goes a far way when you believe in yourself.
And just lastly, I do sort of want to ask you is what got you into BKFC, just the organization itself? Because it's a massive organization. Did you get a call? Did you approach them?
No, my coach. I found my coach moved to a city outside of mine. His name's Joe Riggs. He used to be in the UFC. He fought Nick Diaz, beat Phil Baroni. He beat Melvin Gillard. Joe Diesel Riggs is my coach. He kind of is my caretaker up in the other city we live in. He does great, man. He's in fact, he just called me right now. I mean, we get demanding we be at the gym before class again, but I had some meds I have to do. I got a dilated eye exam just now about 20 minutes ago, so my eyes are still a little funky. So, but Joe Riggs is the reason I'm in the position I'm in. Really, he's done a lot for me. He's made my life different. My life's been different for the last 3 years. And we're excited to see where to go from here.
And based on this topic, and talking of mentors, did you have any mentors sort of like growing up? Like, were there any particular fighters?
Well, it's funny because there's a kid from here. His name's Sean O'Malley. He's in the kid. Sean O'Malley is from the same city that I'm from, and I kind of, to be honest, he's one of the reasons it was my integrity to kind of I was envious and because I was doing it with him and he kept going forward. So, and I kind of followed his kind of whole career and kind of, even though he's a little younger than me mentally, yeah, mentor. He's someone that I kind of look up to, him and Joe Riggs and my father, of course, and just a few good people.
That is very true. I mean, Sean O'Malley does fight Aljamain Sterling very soon, and I think that'll be a fantastic fight. Anyway, guys, that's the interview wrapped with El Loco Louie Lopez ahead of BKFC 44 against Kai Stewart for the Featherweight Championship. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
guys so
Louis.
much. Thank you.